Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. Welcome, everybody, to PBJamz. Music and picture books. What a perfect sandwich. Squish them all together. What a yummy snack. PBJamz. Yummy books and music. PBJamz. Reading, writing, teaching. PBJamz. What a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time. PBJamz.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're joining us. Thank you for joining us again for PBJamz. We are here for part 2 with Nancy Stewart, and this piece is going to be more interactive, and she's going to share with us a lot of the ways that she uses books and literacy and with music and in her childhood visits that she does and her lessons and projects. So Nancy, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Tani. Well, I'm an artist by profession. I'm a performer, but because I'm a musician for young children, I do go into a lot of classrooms. And over the years, the last 22 years, I have built a website where I've offered a song a month, every month for 22 years. So I've wound up this huge library of these songs that many of them I wrote for my shows, my library shows, mostly library shows. So there's always a literacy component working in the libraries. But then I transferred to the classroom. So the songs that I create have a lot of things. They have to be adaptable. I build as many concepts in as I can that make sense, that will attract children. Well, first of all, they have to be fun and speak to children. So that's, of course, the most important thing. Adaptable, they have to be easy to sing, because I know so many teachers and librarians, people who work with young children or children, are not comfortable singing. So I guarantee that these songs are singable. I also invite you to change them. If you don't like the way my melody goes up because your voice doesn't go up, just change it. You know, as I was telling Tani, once I give you a song, it becomes your song. You can do whatever you want with it. And believe me, kids will change the songs too. So everybody gets to change the songs. So I have these 2 websites. One is my artist website with all these mostly original songs, and those are all free. I also have a shop where my CDs, which are, you know, CDs are out the window, but they're still available. But you can get all these songs for free. You can download them on any device. You can print out the sheet music. Most of them have, well, they all have the lyrics, the sheet music, activities, prop patterns. I use a lot of visual, some physical props, and I'm going to demonstrate a few of those. My Sing With Our Kids website is attached to a project I'm doing to try to get communities singing and create a model for all communities. So that's more based on traditional songs I would like to see us keep alive. But there's a lot of bleed over. That's just the way it is organically grown. So it turns out on Sing With Our Kids, you're going to find a lot of the songs from Nancy Music organized better. So anyway, if you poke around on them, you'll get that. Every song I'm going to do today is available on Nancy Music or Sing With Our Kids, most of them Nancy Music. And I will show you the props. And Tani, I invite you to ask any questions or pop in. If it reminds you of a picture book, you could share along with it.
Okay. Perfect.
Right. So I've chosen songs to give you a variety of the different kinds of things I make, the different props I use. And so I'm going to start, let's see, I'm going to start with, and I will do these are my most popular songs when I do workshops and as well with children. So this first one is called Plant a Little Seed, and it's available on Nancy Music. And I have these pictures you can print out of different vegetables, and I have colors. I have words, letters, and the pictures, and these are all photographs. And it's also a finger play. So it's a little bit of everything. And you'll notice when I do finger plays, I keep a really strong beat with my hands as I'm doing the motion. So we're going to get a little handful of dirt. I'm going to poke a little hole and pick up the seed. And if you listen, you'll hear it go right into the dirt. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. Now with younger children, I just show them the picture, but with older kids, I give them a clue because they love games. So this first one, we call ahead of something. Ahead of something? Tani, can you guess what it is? Ahead of?
Lettuce, maybe.
You're right. Ahead. Does it look like me? No, but it's the same. And then kids say shape. Yes, shape. Most kids call this salad. If you work with kids, you know, they
Right.
call that a salad. Yeah. So we have a discussion about that. Oh, that's another thing about these songs. They're fun because you can stop the song if kids want to talk about it. You can have a little conversation, and then you just, when you're ready to get back into the song, you just go get another handful of dirt, poke a little hole. Here comes that seed. So that element of surprise where you have kids wait and listen, that and humor are two elements that really draw kids into songs. Plant a little seed, watch it grow. Soon we will have a vegetable. So let's see, I'm going to grab just one more. We call this an ear of something. We had the head, now we have an ear. Connie, I bet you know.
Corn.
An ear of corn. That's really weird. I don't understand that. Okay, so
Doesn't look like an ear at all, does it?
no, not at all. And I read an explanation of it, but it didn't make sense. I don't even remember it. Anyway, there are more pictures here. Beans rhyme with jeans. So you can go off in any direction that matches the level of the kids you're working with. Preschool teachers can sing this song while they're getting a snack ready. So you can take the song out of the prop and just do it anywhere you are. You can, if teachers have kids in a holding pattern, is what I call, where they're lined up on a wall waiting to go into library or do something else, you can just do the song and then you can say, I'm thinking of a vegetable. So now it's a game, but it's an interactive game, but it's a song. So it just will go any direction you want. And I like to do Pick and Peas with this. It's by Margaret Reed MacDonald, who is one of my favorite storytellers and author. She's done a lot of picture books based on folk tales, and she has to be a good friend. And I've posted her storytelling many times. So anyway, it's a plug for all of her books are great. So that's Plant a Little Seed. Let's see here. I'm going to show you a song that I use for teaching rhyming. So I go in to do a concert. I'm not a teacher. And so I have this goal of having children kind of understand, oh, that's what rhyming is. And this song is amazing in how it works. A traditional song called The Hunting We Will Go. And you can print out all the clip art graphics on this. And what I have are these nesting boxes. And so I'm just going to sing it the way I sing it with kids so you'll get it. So I have these boxes and we're going to sing a little, what animal is that? And kids, of course, say fox. Okay, we're going to think of as many words as we can that rhyme with fox. And you'll know it rhymes because it sounds really fun. Okay, so a hunting we will go, a hunting we will go. We'll catch a fox and put him in a, let's see what rhymes, fox and blocks. Yeah, and what?
Box.
Box, yes. Or you put on your shoes and
Socks.
and you build with
blocks.
Right. So kids may not know how to rhyme, but I just put in and they get the hang of it. And so I go, okay, we'll catch a fox and put him in a, you were right, it's a fox in a box. Do you think that he talks about socks and walks? And then we'll let him go. There's something else. So that's an element of surprise. Now, usually everybody can see the box, but here on Zoom, we can't. So the next one has what animal on it?
Snake.
Snake. Okay, so now we're going to see what words rhyme with snake. A hunting we will go, a hunting we will go. We'll catch a snake and put him in a
lake.
Lake, that's a good one. Or what's that tool you get leaves up with? It's called a
rake.
Rake. And on your birthday, somebody might make you a
cake.
Yes, that's right. So you just keep going as long as you can think of words. We'll catch a snake and put him in a, it's a snake cake. Would you like a snake cake for your birthday?
No.
No, me either. And then we'll let him go. Another, and the kids are like, oh my gosh, there's another one. There's another one. So there is, let's see, what is this? It's a kite. So at some point, the kids always say, it's like a rhyming cake. So it's a rhyming cake. A hunting we will go, a hunting we will go. We'll catch a cat and put him in a
hat.
Or a
baseball bat.
Or a
mat.
Right? And not this, but
that.
Right. We'll catch a cat and put him in a, it's a cat in a hat. You've heard of that. And then we'll let him go. So it has a couple more boxes, but you get the idea. And the kids are like so excited. It's three-dimensional. It makes sound. It's got that element of surprise, and it's kind of goofy. And I've gone into Head Start groups where the kids did not have a clue about rhyming. And I swear by the end of the song, they've got this down. They're starting to come up with words and they're just yelling them out. And so I love that. And so that's a whole different way of doing it. So I have this clip art available on my website in different sizes, depending on the boxes you get. And I remember going to a Head Start, as a matter of fact, years ago, and I did this for the class, and I was coming back to do another class the next day. And my gosh, the teacher had gone home that night. She'd gone around her house and found like a yogurt container and a, different box. And she had made this darling little set of the boxes using the clip art, and she was all ready to go. And I was just blown away.
Nice.
So that's a whole different thing. Let's see, we were talking about vocabulary in the first section. So this is a song I actually wrote specifically to introduce some new fun words to kids. It's called Riding Along, Singing a Song. So this is one of my printables. You can print out the pages and I comb bound it, but you can just slip them into a notebook or anything at all. And I have a whole bunch of these. So this is called Riding Along, Singing a Song. And the first thing I do is just go over the words with the kids so they know what's coming. So first word is dapper. Dapper means, well, what do you think? Looking at this picture, what would you think dapper is about the way he's dressed?
He's fancy.
He's fancy, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the context gives the children, let's see. The next one is clever. Clever. You guys know what clever is. If you're trying to figure something out and you get the answer, you are being very clever. Yes. And the next one is, dainty. Do you guys know what dainty means?
Ooh,
dainty. You don't. Well, if I'm drinking my tea and I'm not being dainty, I would drink it like this. But if I'm being dainty, I would drink it like this. So that's dainty. And then sneaky. You all know what sneaky is. Maybe you're sneaky sometimes. Maybe you sneak downstairs when your parents don't know you're there. That's sneaky. And then one of my favorite words, brittle. Have you ever heard the word brittle? Well, brittle means breakable, but it's more than breakable. It's like an egg is very brittle. It's fragile. It's kind of fragile. So if you break it, it's going to break all at once. Wow, how would you describe brittle, Tawny? It's kind of a tricky word because it's nuanced.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, maybe like it breaks into a lot of pieces at once.
Yeah, maybe a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. And once it breaks a little bit,
it breaks a lot.
Gone. Yeah. Like Humpty Dumpty. He was pretty
right.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then another word, a big word, menagerie. Ooh, that's a lot of animals. So you see there are a lot of animals there on the bus. Okay, so the song is very short and simple, as many of my songs are. And it just goes like this. Now the kids know the words, and there's a lot of repetition, which makes it singable. You can see that. One dapper dog riding on a bike, singing a song and riding on a bike. And that's the whole song. And usually when I'm holding a book with kids with a simple song that has a strong beat, I also make a rhythm with my hand because it kind of focuses the energy. Two clever cats riding in a car, singing a song and riding in a car. And three, do you remember what the word was for three? The ducks in the boat, they are
dainty.
Three dainty ducks riding in a boat, singing a song and riding in a boat. And then four sneaky snakes riding on a train, singing a song and riding on a train. And let's see here. Fingers are slow today. Oh, brittle bugs. Four brittle bugs riding in a plane, singing a song and riding on a plane. And one more. See the menagerie riding on a bus, singing together and riding on a bus. So you've got vocabulary and alliteration. You've got print awareness, vocabulary, a whole bunch packed in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see, how much time do we have?
I don't know. Just keep going.
Okay. This is one of my favorite songs. Let's see. You can think of all kinds of books that would go with transportation or.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Okay, and when I'm going to schools, I always combine picture books with songs, but they're usually a certain kind of picture book. They're books based on songs, or they have a repeated phrase in them. Oh, I'll show you a really good example. Do you know Trashy Town by Andrea Zimmerman?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh, I love this. I happened to mention it on my blog and she emailed me and we met. She was up in
Oh,
Seattle.
nice.
We had a great conversation. I was able to ask her about this book. So, Trashy Town, I'll just do a little bit of it so you can see. I love this book because it does have that repeated phrase. And of course, whenever I have a repeated phrase in a picture book, I sing it. So I go, I dump it in, I smash it down. I love to clean up Trashy Town. And so every time that comes around, the kids will sing it with me and, smash. So one thing else, so Mr. Billy goes around and he empties trash cans. And so there are words on every page. There's stop. Well, stop. Where are we? Stop. Oh, Zoom. Yeah. And there's go and there's no. So every time we get to those, I just point to it because once I've told the kids that red word comes up, they always know stop. So they're doing that pretend reading and it's environmental reading too because they know that. So it has those repeated, it has the song. So I love this book and I combine it with my song about my garbage can, which I got this puppet. And whenever I get a puppet, I have to write a song for him. So this is one of the most asked for and popular songs I do. These puppets are available very inexpensively on eBay. I get them all the time. So this is the Folk Manus garbage can raccoon puppet. And the song goes like this. I'm a raccoon, I'm a raccoon, rambling around in the night. I'm a raccoon, I'm a raccoon, you can see me when the moon is bright. I got rings on my tail, a mask on my eyes. If you see me at night, you might be surprised because I'm a raccoon, I'm a raccoon, rambling around in the night. And then it's got another verse, but the kids are so funny because they get totally quiet when it closes and then they just explode in giggles when he comes out. Yes. But that's a fun picture book to use with that. So another one that I love to do, and you could do a nonfiction book with this about burrowing animals. So I've got these lunch bags. These are all, my props are all either you can print them out or you can just grab things around the house and make them. And they just have a letter on the front and there's a burrowing animal inside. So this is the hole, right? So we're going to get our shovels and do some digging. Somebody's digging down in the ground. Somebody's digging. You can hear the sound. Somebody's digging. Who can it be? Take a look in the hole. Who's looking at me? Okay, this animal's name begins with the letter T, and it's a
turtle.
Turtle. It's a turtle. That's right. Should we do one more? Okay, get your shovel. Somebody's digging down in the ground. Somebody's digging. You can hear the sound. Somebody's digging. Who can it be? Take a look in the hole. Who's looking at me? This animal's name begins with an F, and it's a
fox.
Yeah. So I think I've got, I don't know, 6 or 8 burrowing animals in different sizes. So you can use a lunch bag or you can use a bigger bag if you have more children, like a class. But what I do is I go around the circle, kids are in a circle, and I say, okay, take a peek in the hole, but don't tell anybody what it is. As soon as you know, give me a thumbs up. It's so hard for kids to not blurt it out. So it's really a good direction following body control listening exercise.
Yeah.
And so I go around and you see the kids go like this and then I say when I count to 3 at the end we're all going to say what it is. So this is just such a fun, it's a game, a song, and just a hoot. I'm going to show you one other thing we have time for. Actually 2 other things. It's hard. I've got like 300 songs.
I know.
It's really hard to my babies.
It's like Keaton's favorite child.
Yes. Okay. Well, let's see. Okay. So these first 2. So on my Sing with Our Kids site, if you go to printable books, you'll see a whole page of different kinds of books. And I really invite you to look at the family literacy page because that has a lot of information on it that anybody can use and a lot of special resources I created when I keynoted at the Barbara Bush Foundation years ago and created these materials. But I've made a whole bunch of these little wordless books. And I know as teachers, you use these little folding books a lot. But if you don't know about them, they're just made from a single sheet of paper, which you can print out. And then you just fold them as per the directions and make one little cut. And then when you put it together, voila, it's a book. These all have a QR code on them, which I was doing 12 years ago and nobody knew what it was. And now everybody gets it after COVID. We're all using it. So when a parent scans this with their phone, you will hear me singing the song simply and slowly enough so the child can turn the page.
Oh, nice.
So this is great for ESL students. It's great for preschoolers. Kindergartners can be writing their names, adding their illustrations, so it's their book. And they can add to it as they want, and they can hear the song if they don't know the melody. And it astounds me that there are a lot of parents that don't know the melodies to songs like the Itsy Bitsy Spider. They don't. If a child's in the car, you can sing along with it. So, and if it gets torn, you can print out another one. So these are great. But one thing I love to do with songs like this, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, I like to show kids and teachers and librarians how many different versions there are. And you probably do this too. So this is just what I have in my collection. I have this board book of Twinkle Twinkle, this board book of Twinkle Twinkle, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now I know exactly what you are. This is a science book, but it's all, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And then one illustrated by Jerry Pinkney that was just exquisite illustrations. And this is the only one that really follows pretty much the traditional lyrics, which I love. You know, it's got like 7 verses, which we never do. I do in concert. And then, of course, Jane Cabrera, who does the most wonderful books. And each page, have you seen this one? Each page has like a different synonym for twinkle. So there's sparkle and there's glitter. And she takes a trip around the world. So you see different animals and their environments. And then in the end, it's the mother with her child. So she always builds in, you know, global concepts. And there's always some awe moment where you go, oh, that's so sweet. And the illustrations are wonderful. So I get all my out of print books on bookfinder.com. Have you gone there? So you can usually find used books, and they almost always come from libraries that have been weeded, which is sad, but yeah, you know. And then one of my favorite preschoolers, Twinkle Twinkle Little Car, which is hilarious. And it's the little car goes around and says goodnight to everybody. So what I do is tell the kids or teachers, have the kids go to the library and check out as many different versions of a particular song. Then you can talk about them in class, the differences of illustrations, and you can vote on which illustrations you like best, which story you like best, because these songs, they change the lyrics. And I think you're talking about doing this too, or you have done it, where you have something based on it.
There's we highlighted a book a while back, and that was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was highlighted in there. And so we talked a lot in that episode about doing variations on
good. Yeah.
And lots of teachers use piggyback songs too, that'll use a tune and then they'll change the words.
Right. And that goes back to one of the things that you can do with music. When you connect something new to something familiar, we retain it better. So that's a great trick. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just show you maybe one more thing. I have this collection of photo books, which I call community picture books. And they're in Word format. So although I took pictures of my community because I want children who look at these to recognize places they know, people they know, you can just pop in your own pictures. And I'm telling you, when children see themselves or their familiar places in a book, and then you put it to a song, it's such a win-win. So this one I just did this morning with a new group of kids, because I just started school with them, and oh my gosh, the conversations, every child had to share something with me. So this is our neighborhood market, and they knew what it was. This is very low tech. You just print it out. I cut out pictures of my grandkids and just pasted them on the pages, so now your children can see themselves in the book. And so I went to our bookstore, I went to the post office. We had a real discussion about that, because kids they know what happens there, but they didn't realize it was called a post office. And these were 5-year-old kids, but they said like the letter store or the, and then everybody knew this one. I was so pleased. It's our library.
Yay, good.
And so the fire station, and so this song, I'll just sing, it's very simple. Let's go to the market. Let's go right away. We can buy some cereal and then we'll go and play. And then you go through all those places, and then the last page is, and now it's time to play. So you have a picture of just the kids there.
Nice.
So it's so empowering for kids to see these books, and they're so simple to make, because I've just made a template. You just plug in your own, you can change the lyrics if you want. This one is to do with babies, to show babies pictures of family members, because now we're so separated, and this is so valuable. So anyway, the song is very short. Baby, who do you see? I see Jackson looking at me. Baby, who do you see? I see mommy looking at me. And it goes through the whole family, relatives. And then the last page is, baby, who do you see? I see
baby
looking at me. Right. So you say the baby's name. And I did this in a workshop, and then I came back a few months later, and this teacher said, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I did that song, and I printed it out for my grandchildren. And one day, one of my grandchildren went to the window and said, look, Uncle Jimmy's here. And she says, he's never met Uncle Jimmy. But I had a picture of Uncle Jimmy with a red car. And the red car pulled up, and this baby knew it was Uncle Jimmy because they saw the red car and they knew. So these connections that you can make with community, and with this one, I just took trucks from around the neighborhood, and the kids know the context. They recognize the places. Again, I just cut out pictures of kids and put them in there. I'll just do one verse of this. I'll drive a dump truck, dump truck, dump truck. I'll drive a dump truck all day long. And that's the whole song. The picture just changes. So it's immediately interactive, and the kids are engaged because they see them and their community in there. So I'm big on having children be able to see themselves in these photo books. And now we have all these photos on our phone. It's a great thing to do with it.
Yeah.
So I have probably 300 songs on both websites at least, and all kinds of props. Sometimes you just print them out. Sometimes you make them. Sometimes you gather them from things around the house. A market song where you can sing it unpacking the groceries. So a lot of exploration to be done. And what else? I mean, I know.
We could do this all day, Nancy.
You have to get the hook.
Yeah, you get music teachers talking about music and books, and we can do this all day. Totally. That is awesome. Though. Listen, when I came across, and I don't even remember how I came across your.
I was going to ask you how you did.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't remember, but I remember when I did, and I went to your website. I was like, holy cow, why haven't I known about this before? Because really, because I would have been using all this stuff all these years, just so you have a plethora. That's one of my favorite words. You have a plethora of amazing resources there that are just free. And I love the fact that you just offer them to teachers. Teachers pay teachers is great, and it has a great place. But man, there is nothing like just being able to go and print what you need, or pull it off and just go with it and enjoy it. And I had told Nancy, I'm telling the rest of you now, but she has a lovely fairy tale song, which is going to tie in beautifully with my theme for this year in my music classroom. So my kids are actually going to use it for our performance. My second graders are going to sing it later on this year in May for their concert. But she just makes it available, and she's so gracious to do that. And so you guys go and support her. All of her information is going to be linked up below. All of these incredible things that she shared with you, they're all right there. There's songs, and she sings them for you. So, you don't, there's like no excuses. Like, get the music into your classrooms, into your families,
Yes. I say one other thing I forgot to say, really important. There are no ads. Because I built my website to be the kind of website I would want to use. There are no pop-ups. There's not that scrolling down and all kinds of stuff hits you. And you can video yourself, and you have permission to use things. Don't worry about copyright. Just don't make money off it, but use it in your, and that was a big issue during the pandemic. I got a lot of requests from people saying, I need to use materials, but I can't get a hold of the publishers, and we have to have permission. So it's kind of plastered all over that you can use them however you want. Just credit me, and that's it.
Yeah, she's so gracious to do that. And it is such a rich, rich resource. And so that's why I really wanted to have Nancy on, even though we're not focusing on a specific book. But I don't know about you guys, but I know as she was talking, I was like, oh, yeah, you could use like the whole rhyming thing, which, you know, Dr. Seuss is king of rhyme, right?
Yep,
But
yep.
You had Fox and Socks and the Cat in the Hat in that,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
so I mean, that would be a great follow-up activity.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we forgot to say this.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, you want to tell him? You tell him, Nancy.
Well, we're doing a giveaway, and this is not my free songs. This is a Rhythm of the Rock CD. This is a multicultural musical journey, and a songbook to go with it. So great for music teachers. It has the sheet music, the lyrics, and activities to do with it. It's also just nice music to play in the classroom. It has some introduction to languages, but mostly English, but gives you a lot of visual and musical, it's artistic renditions of multicultural music. And we did get a couple of awards for it, so it's a good one.
An award-winning CD.
Award-winning, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And she is kind enough to make that our giveaway for this week. So you guys comment either one of the 2 weeks. This episode will be up for last week's episode and this part B. So you have 2 weeks to comment. And so we will link up all that amazing information below. And there are so many books, as Nancy said, and we alluded to, there's so many picture books that you could use
thousands
with this. Yeah. And that, you know, as authors, right, like we're always looking for those repetitive refrains. And so hopefully for my author friends that are watching, you're seeing how, you know, teachers could take that and really use it. And so building those refrains into our picture books is just, it's so valuable, and it's helpful for the kids. It's helpful for the music teachers and the regular teachers. I love the raccoon. I think that might be my favorite.
Yeah, that's a hit. And you know, you're talking about that on my website, and I can't remember where it is, but probably can get there from Family Literacy. I'll look and you can link to it. But it talks about, I'm very picky about what books based on songs I use. I like them to have simple, bold pictures so the children can see how the words are connected. I like the page breaks to match the music. And there are a lot of books where you're right in the middle of a musical phrase and you have to turn the page. So so if you are interested as an author in what considerations, if you're writing a book that you want to be sung or chanted together or whatever, you might look at those things that I look for in a book like that make it really usable with a group.
Nice. That's a great tip.
Yeah, because I love that, and I am picky. There's thousands of books based on songs. You know, almost any song that everybody knows, commercial or not, has been turned into a picture book. And there are fabulous ones and there are not as fabulous ones.
Yeah, agreed, always.
And we need more of them, so write them. Yeah.
And I was going to say, if you look back a few weeks, I don't remember when it was, but Jana Matthias was on PBJamz, and she had her lovely, are you familiar with Here We Come, Nancy?
No, I was.
You're gonna have to check out that episode. Okay. Go back in the Jana Matthias, and it's called Here We Come. And she wrote that, but then she's a preschool music teacher, and so she sang it on the episode.
Oh, fun.
As I was flipping pages for her. And so
nice.
Yeah, so that was really fun little episode. Nice. And in a couple of weeks, I say a couple of weeks, let me see when it is. There is going to be I have another one that's a singing one, and it is Blue Ridge Babies on November 3rd. Laura Sperry Gardner, and so it is Over in the Meadow.
Oh, I love that.
Right. Yeah. So she took that familiar tune, like we were talking about, piggyback songs.
Right.
And she changed it to Blue Ridge Baby. She lives in the mountains of North Carolina. And
Wonderful.
So the Blue Ridge Mountains. And so it's all animals that you would find there in the Blue Ridge.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be on November 3rd. So that one's coming up before too long as well. So those are some really fun ones that we're trying to highlight here too. They're such fun when you can just sing along with them and have a good time.
Yeah.
But Nancy's resources are amazing. I'm telling you, you go look, you check it out, and you're going to go, thank you, Tawny, because I didn't know this existed, and now you do. And You're going to love it. So make sure you go and look at her resources and use her stuff. And good luck to whoever wins the CD, because that's going to be fabulous. I'm so excited for you. And thank you, Nancy. This has just been such fun. I love talking music and literacy with folks, and it has been a blast talking it with you.
Thank you so much, Tawny. I had a blast too.
Thank you guys for joining us for these 2 episodes of PBJamz, and we hope to see you next time. Have a great week.
PBJamz, songish books and bookish songs, tips for music teachers, interviews and book reviews, a little singing and dancing. PBJamz, yummy books and music. PBJamz, reading, writing, teaching. PBJamz, what a yummy treat, jamming PBs all the time. PBJamz, jams, 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 picture books and jams. We'll see you next time.